Hello, hello everyone. Welcome. Sorry. Wait,
I was
wait.
like, we're already starting off like halfway through.
I know. Should we?
No, just keep
Just
it.
give it.
Just
Okay.
keep it.
Hello,
We haven't
everyone.
been drinking, I swear, we
I know
haven't.
because I was looking at Elle doing the countdowns. I was like, okay. And then, hello, everyone. Welcome to. Okay, welcome to episode 23 of the Crazy Bookish
Oh, wait.
Asians. Wait, are we starting over? Oh
No,
my
no,
gosh,
No.
that's
one.
you doing the 23. Oh my gosh. Okay.
23.
Yes.
Don't look at
Oh,
your sister.
I know. I'll just look at the camera. Yes. Welcome to episode 23 of the Crazy Bookish Asians. And I'm your host for today. My name is Emmy. Before I start off with the book that we picked, I thought I'd just introduce everybody else. Start off with, okay, Lisa.
Hi. I'm a related by marriage.
Okay, Miss L. Or Miss Lainey.
That's it.
Well, you said you're going to introduce everybody.
Oh, sorry.
You
Okay,
said
so
you
Miss
was
L. Miss L with the glasses.
All right. Hi, everybody.
And the
I'm
new
Elle.
haircut.
I know, fresh. She's fresh.
Freshly
She's
washed
fresh.
as well.
She's freshly washed.
Meaning, like, literally, she just got out of the shower right before this meeting.
TMI.
That's how fresh she is. Oh, and I'm Lainey. I'm the youngest crazy bookish Asian related by blood.
I know our introduction changes every episode. Anyways, yes, welcome everyone. Like I said, episode 23. And before I start off with actually talking about the book, I just thought I'd say our usual disclaimers. There will be spoilers, probably from the very beginning of our comment. That's how it rolls. So if you guys haven't read the book and you don't want to, hear any spoilers, might be time to log
Don't
off and then
watch
just
it.
come back. Yeah. Well, come back, bookmark us, and then come back
Come
after
back
you've
to
read.
not watch it. Yes, come back.
And then
Yeah.
also,
Yeah, man. Don't listen to Lainey.
and also, this is just whatever we say about the book. It's just our own opinion. We're a very small channel, as you guys can see. So, yeah, we just want to say that we have nothing personal with with authors. We're not sponsored or anything like that. So basically, when we discuss the book, this is just it. It's just our opinion, whether we love it or not. And on that note, the book that I picked this episode is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kuang. And I actually just picked this book because I really love the title. And then I saw it was on sale. So I just thought, hey, it's an Asian author. Let's go for it. So I don't know anything about her. But then I realized later on that this was a Reese Witherspoon book club pick, I think, a while back. So make of
Really?
that
I
what
didn't know
you
that.
will.
Okay.
Make of that what you will. So now I'm just going to read this, the synopsis on Amazon, and then we're going to do a discussion afterwards. Okay, yeah, so I'll just start it off there. Helen Zhang hasn't seen Grant Shepherd once in the 13 years since a tragic accident that bound their lives together forever. Now a best-selling author, Helen pours everything into her career. She's even scored a coveted spot in the writer's room of the TV adaptation of her popular young adult novels. And if she can hide her imposter syndrome and overcome her writer's block, surely the rest of her life will fall into place too. LA is a fresh start she needs. After all, no one knows her there except Grant has done everything in his power to move on from the past, including building a life across the country. And while the panic attacks have never quite gone away, he's well liked around the town as a screenwriter. He knows he shouldn't have taken the job on Helen's show, but it will open doors to developing his own projects that he can't just pass up. It's a long synopsis. Grant's
But
exactly
you read it that way, honestly.
Huh?
You could have just.
I know.
You could have
Right.
just.
Shut up. Grant's
explained
exactly
it.
as Helen remembers him, charming, funny, popular, and lovable in ways that she's never been. And Helen's exactly as Grant remembers, too. Brilliant, beautiful, closed off, but working together is messy and electrifying. And Helen's parents, who have never forgiven Grant, have no idea he's in the picture at all. When secrets come to light, they must reckon with the fact that theirs was never meant to be and any kind of love story. And yet, the key to making peace with their past and themselves might just lie in holding on to each other in the present. All right. Okay, so on that
God,
note,
that's a pretty long
it
synopsis.
is,
Was it
it
really?
is, right?
That's
That was a
long.
synopsis, yeah. So, anyways, on that note, we'll start off with the last host of the last episode, which was Lisa. So, we'll start off with
Lisa.
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 Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So we start off
Okay.
individual discussion, and then we do a group discussion in the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I finished this book yesterday. I started it a while ago, and then I stopped, and then I started again. Um, So essentially, I like the premise of the story. I just did not enjoy, I hated the way it was written. So I was asking Emmy, I'm like, is it third person POV the way this author is writing? Because I hate that type of writing style. I really, really hate it. So I had a really hard time, not a really hard time, but I had a tough time sort of powering through the writing style. The story itself, I was okay with. Like I liked it. It was a little bit too angsty for me, but I did not enjoy the way it was written. I'm more of a person who likes first person POV. Um, so I'm more used to that. That's the type of POV I usually read. So this was a bit tougher for me to follow because I don't really enjoy the writing style. Um, so that was the biggest negative for me is just the writing style. I did not enjoy the writing style. The story itself, I hated Helen in the beginning, like about 20-30% of the book. I was like, what a bitch, right? And then we hit like the 30-40%. I was like, okay. And it just to me it felt like a sudden change in her demeanor towards Grant. So in the beginning there was like this, you know, asshole, and then petered out, and all of a sudden they were like into each other, right? So I had a little problem sort of following that. I knew that they were kind of probably, or she was always attracted to him, probably in high school, and he didn't really notice her in high school. But the crossover was a little startling for me because I didn't really follow like how they just kind of fell into each other when they did fall into each other. Um, but the premise is that like basically Grant was the driver, like so her sister committed suicide, and Grant was the guy who was in the car when she jumped in front of his car. So
Spoiler.
spoiler, sorry,
Spoiler.
spoiler. That's where the angst comes from, and and I guess the hatred, right? And her mother basically calls him a murderer, even though it's not technically his fault. It was just he was driving, she threw herself in front of his car, and on impact she died, right? So that part, I kind of enjoyed that part of the story where it's like, how are they going to get themselves out of this mess? Like, how are they going to fall in love, right? And the way the author did it was, I liked it. Too angsty for me, but I liked it. But also, again, it was because of the way she wrote it. I really had a tough time trying to flowing with the storyline. So in the end, it was an okay read for me. I, did not like Helen, like I said, the first 30% of the book. And then I started to like her, like I was okay with her. And then
It
I
was the
really
cottage
enjoyed the
scene,
ending.
right? Was it the cottage scene? I think I remember
Yeah.
that percentage when.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I think when she got high, another spoiler,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay. So it seemed like her personality kind of changed after that, right? And then I really actually did enjoy the ending, even though I didn't enjoy the writing style. I enjoyed the ending of the story. So that actually put a smile on my face at the end. So even though I didn't really enjoy the writing style, like that's just not the type of book I would read. Like if I ever open a book and it's written like that, it would be a DNF for me. Like I would close it, then put it away, right? But because it was a book club, I was like, I powered through, I read it through. And I'm actually glad I did because I enjoyed the ending, even though I didn't enjoy the beginning, I enjoyed the ending. So that is my take on the whole story.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Lisa.
much, Miss Lisa. All right. So who
You're
wants to go
welcome.
next?
Elle, or should I go next? Okay. Okay, I'll go next.
I guess it's not out.
Okay, I'll go next. This just shows that we are like, I mean, our taste in books are, I mean, are varied because I actually really enjoyed this book. Okay, I'll start off with saying since this was Emmy's pick, I actually did not think it was gonna be like a romance. She did say it
I
was a
didn't
romance book, but I
either.
was expecting.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was romance either,
I was like,
honestly.
I know, like this is like a true romance book.
It
Like,
was. No, it was. Yeah. Like I get it's just
yes,
that I just couldn't enjoy it because of the way
I
it was
know.
written, right? So yeah.
No, because no, I'm just saying I didn't think it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like a fiction where one of those like I knew the premise, and I knew they're gonna be into each other. You know, I've read some books that sometimes they meet and they have a relationship just to sort of get over the hump, but not really end up together. So I thought it was gonna be one of those books like they'll help each other heal in a way, but then kind of venture off. So I mean, this is like a true romance book with spice and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an easy read. It was good. I enjoyed it. But I did feel a disconnect a bit with the actual like, I mean the angst and the love story because at the beginning it was like they're so angsty
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then all of a sudden like he was having a panic attack and like like spoiler like Grant has panic attacks. But then it kind of like there's a whole scene where but then he became this Mr. Popular like right away. It's kind of like well he has like what I mean I guess he hit it. I guess it's the whole idea. So it's kind of weird. So I felt like there was a disconnect with the thing. And you know what's so funny? You hated Helen. I actually found her more like I hated Grant. I didn't. Grant got on my
I didn't
nerves at
I
the
did I did
beginning.
I didn't like them that much either. I actually didn't like
I know.
either of them in the
I
beginning, right? Yeah,
know.
I
Well,
didn't
for
like either
me,
of them.
I just hate that he was such a golden retriever type of guy. Like I'm like, leave her alone. It's like, why are you like forcing her to like? But that's his personality. For me, it's like leave her alone. Like I kind of could relate with her more. Like sometimes it takes in the groups like especially like. I just reminds me of meetings where I don't want to talk and people just kept like forcing me to talk. And like,
You didn't want to talk, really?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's weird that I could relate with Helen because you wouldn't think if you meet me,
If
I'm a
you knew
Helen.
her, if you knew her.
No, but in meetings, I get anxiety in meetings sometimes. Actually, well, especially okay. So I work in a place where mostly guys, so sometimes like I don't want to talk because I'm like, but I feel like I was Helen. The more sometimes like it's hard to get in there, and you're trying to get in there.
Hmm.
But Emmy, are you still with us? Can you hear?
Oh my gosh, I
Oh,
know.
Oh,
I
there
saw
she
it.
is. Okay. We lost
okay.
her. We
Oh,
lost her for a
I don't
Ah,
know what's
second.
happening.
where are we at? 13 minutes in. That's actually right. They usually start
So it
sooner,
says
right?
new recording track
I
created.
know. That's
I
okay.
don't know what
Oh,
happened. I was like, I could
God.
hear
You'll be
them. I
fine.
could hear you guys, but then I was like,
No,
oh.
no,
I
you're
mean,
echoing again.
I don't want to keep talking until like Emmy's with us.
Okay, let me just do
Okay.
something. Hang on a second.
Okay. Go. So I have actually a thing here. Yeah, it was funny that I could relate with Helen more at the beginning, where I'm like, Grant, like leave her. I'm like, you're such a bully. Leave her alone. I thought the other writers were funny. I like the side characters, like the gay guy and like Nicole. Nicole I thought was hilarious. Like the one who was like slutty, I guess. Is she like the slutty one?
And harsher. And she was
Yeah,
harsh.
the harsher. Well, I can see myself in her to where like she just says it as it is. And my only thing is like I see it as a pro, but like literally like the foreplay, like there's so much everything was like foreplay in this book. Like I'm like, just do it, okay? Just do it already at this point. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, so the cons. Um, so Lisa, you said that you didn't think that Helen. I thought that Grant was always into her, like just the way that he mentioned, like,
I don't know in high school if it didn't sound like he was like he knew of her, but I don't think he was like
yeah,
into her. No, I don't think so.
okay,
But I think that she probably had like a low level crush on
Right.
him in high school, but just
okay.
thought he
Oh,
was
you
unattainable,
thought so?
inattainable.
You thought
I
so?
thought so. Yeah, the way
Yeah,
she talked about him, yes,
Yeah.
right?
I thought
So
it was more him that
I
he.
that's what I
no, I
thought
did not.
too,
No,
because
I thought complete opposite. Absolutely
yeah.
Okay,
not.
that's
No,
what the
no.
way you. I love it because the way you interpreted things are so opposite of the way I like. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what I love about the book club too, right? What did I say? Oh, and I mean, okay, as much I do like the story. I mean, the angst is good, and the thing is because it's a romance book. But in reality, a part of me feel like when I think about it, I don't think I could be with the person who's involved, even whether in hindsight, you know what I mean? And this is like this has been done before. But I think just personally, if I put myself in Helen's shoes, I don't think I could be involved with the person who is responsible, whether for the sister's death. You know what? Because I feel like it'll always remind me. But I think that's my thing that is like, that's definitely a romance fantasy almost, because I feel like the chances are people accepting him after is kind of very low. So even the parents, as a parent, I mean, they kind of like spoiler, but at the end of the day, they kind of they accepted him obviously because they were together by the end. But it's just like that's the fantasy for me because I'm like I don't know how realistic the fact that they end up together and like especially her
No, I mean
side
like
is
in
okay with it, right?
yeah, like in real life, I guess that wouldn't happen. Like maybe you could forgive the person or just move
Yeah,
on, right? But you wouldn't have you wouldn't fall in love with them,
like I
right?
wouldn't be in a I wouldn't see myself and I know I mean that's why it took forever for really for them to like because there's that it's almost like an epic months go by before they really spoiler before they end up really together. But yeah, that's how I feel. I guess that's where the fantasy part comes in because I think how realistic are we to like are you really going to end up with the person whether they're not responsible, but that's how I feel, but I enjoyed it.
They were part of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like it'll
Yeah.
always remind me, but I enjoyed it though. I thought it was a good read. I like romance. I mean, I'm a big romance reader, so I was just shocked that this was Emmy's pick. For me, I think that was the biggest shocker. That this was that Emmy's the one
I
that
said
brought this in.
I said the same thing to her, and then she said, "Okay, this is probably the last one."
Can you guys
Okay,
see
so
me?
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I'm not
my
gonna do.
that's
You're still echoey, but it's fine. I'll live.
that's my take on the book.
Thank you, Miss Lainey. All right,
Thanks,
Miss L.
L.
Right. Let me bring up my notes. I am with okay. So I think I'll start by saying I also really enjoyed this book. It is up my alley, but I think in terms of thoughts, I'm kind of between Lisa and Lainey, and like Lainey. Okay, so I think when Emmy and I were talking a few weeks ago, like if we started reading the book or something, and she kept quiet and like she couldn't say much about it, and I was like, right? But she didn't tell me what she felt about this book, right? And then when I started reading it, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I know now why she feels that way because if this is so up my alley with the eggs and all that, and I know it's not necessarily Emmy's like
Maybe remember I told you it's angsty. I told you that. I told
I
you
know,
that when
yeah,
I
and then
saw you.
Lisa's
Yeah.
like, oh, I
I
said
said,
there's
"Oh,
no
I think it's
eggs,
up your
so
alley, right?"
yeah, and okay, so I'll start with that. And then okay, usually I go in blind with the when I when we any book, right? If something catches my attention, whether short blurb or in our case is the book club choice, I just go in blind, right? Without reading much about the book, without reading reviews or without reading anything about the author. Um, and then my first thought was I was reading this book, is this reads like a movie in my head? And then of course
Hmm.
finding out later that that's the author's background, that it makes perfect sense, right?
Oh,
So
it is okay. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's a
yeah. So
screenwriter. She's a
it was
screenwriter.
part of the screenwriting
Okay.
for Emily Henry, like I guess upcoming Emily Henry, another romance author. She has a movie. I think there's something coming out based on her book, and I think she's one of the writers. So
Okay.
yeah, um,
I've read one Emily
okay,
Henry actually. Yeah.
yeah. I have some of her books, but I haven't read it. But like I
I've
don't know. I
never
just
read her, so yeah. I've
yeah.
never even actually heard
So
of her.
Oh, she's
okay.
big. She's really big on like TikTok. Yeah.
I
Oh
know
yeah,
she
no.
is, right? Because like I think she like a few years back is when I think she kind of like so I think now it's getting like turned into a movie or a series or whatever. Anyways, okay. Um yeah, the third I'm okay. I, like unlike Lisa, I actually don't have preference. Sometimes I like a first person point of view or a third person. Um this one I think what I about the point of view because I noticed that her technique where she would bold the first letter of the paragraph every time there's a switch in point of view. Um,
Oh.
and then I would miss it. So then I would get confused, not realizing that the point of view has switched.
Let's change. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was one. But speaking of point of view, I'm actually glad there was a dual point of view. Because I don't think I would have liked either Grant or
Or
Helen
Helen.
if I didn't get both their point of view. And then even with a dual point of view, honestly, I don't think I warmed up to Helen until the very end. Like something about her grated me,
Yeah,
and
I
this
think I was like
something that
about
we thought was
50%.
odd
Yeah.
lately about like Grant being like that golden retriever. But even remember there was a scene when they were talking about like if he was a tree, he'll be an oak tree because he's the golden retriever of like the trees, like oak. And I actually like that. And yeah, I didn't really warm up to Helen till the end because like honestly, like I think Lisa mentioned it, I thought she was either mean or callous to Grant most of the time, and I felt like Grant was making all the concessions
The
throughout.
effort. Yeah. All the
Yeah,
effort. Yeah.
because it really you can tell he's the one who's feeling more right about the whole relationship.
And I think maybe
And
that's why you guys thought that he had a thing for her in high school. But if
maybe
you
right.
really read it, if you really read it like closely,
Yeah.
she did, and he didn't really know her in high school.
Oh,
But
but I thought I
but
read
in
somewhere
the
that he
end,
noticed her even then, even though she
yeah, but
didn't think so.
as like the nerdy, quiet, like not he didn't notice her in
Oh,
a
I
I
guess
am
so.
attracted to
Okay,
her
okay,
way. Yeah.
it's true,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in
If you
that
think
sense.
about it, I think the reason why you both thought it was him is because his feelings were stronger than Helen's. In
Right. Like
terms of like
The
in the current
presence.
he
relationship,
was
yeah, in
able
the
to
Well,
current
express
environment.
himself better than Helen,
well,
right?
also there
True.
was
True.
I don't know if you guys remember. There's also a scene when after the accident, right? So they mentioned that Grant actually wrote a poem to
Oh,
Helen,
to
right? Because
Helen.
Right.
Oh
right, she
yeah.
was
Yes.
wondering because he was wondering how her life was after the whole accident. So I think maybe after the accident, that's my interpretation anyway. After the accident, that maybe
Yeah.
That he
when he started
was.
thinking of the effect of what happened. So yeah, because I was like, oh, so in a way he was kind of he did start getting interested in her even from before because just because of their connection. And then at
Yeah.
university, right, when he wrote that poem, I was like, oh wow,
Right.
like he
Yes.
felt that
Yes.
strong, right?
Yeah.
Whether
And
it
then
be
and I
attraction
think
or whatever. Yeah,
right. And I think
This
in even one of
connection.
yeah,
in one of his introspection, how I think, like you said, when when he was university, and then how they came to be with the writing and everything, how in a sense
right.
he almost like kind of like mirrored his like
Yeah, right.
her trajectory, right? And she did it so much better. But anyways, I mean that's how I think enamored he was with her. And one thing I think where I thought I could have liked Helen more is how in any love story when there's a breakup or when it's someone's fault, there's always that idea of grand gesture.
Mm,
And I was really looking for a big grand gesture from Helen, I think, because um I because in my opinion, she was the one who really messed up in that. Well, I was
yes.
gonna say effed up, but I guess this is like
But did
PG.
she though?
So
I mean, I just
no,
feel like
well, not
they
F. No, no,
should be really
maybe
together.
no, not messed up, but I think the way she handled
Handled
the
it. Yeah.
conversation. Anyway, so
Okay.
I think that's what it was. You know what it is? This stood out in my head. She reminds me of some of the characters that Rachel McAdams played in like a few love stories. Um, like Dear
Oh.
John or The Notebook. Or no, not Dear
Hmm.
John, but anyways, where you where I've often wonder when I was watching those movies, I've often wonder what the male main character saw in
Like
her
they're on
character.
Nicholas Sparks movie, I think, right? They're very
Yeah,
much
it's like it's like the
Elaine, Nicholas
Ryan Gosling
Sparks, your favorite.
character, Channing
Oh
Tatum
God.
character.
Oh
They're like, what did
God.
they see in her, right? Like, but anyways, that's who reminded me of like Helen's character, right? So and I think like we mentioned earlier, it's just the angst is so up my alley. you know,
Oh
Yes,
and it's character
definitely.
driven, right? That's really like more like instead of story driven, it really instead of like plot driven, it really is more character driven. Um, and I think the pace works for me, even though the tempo or the beat felt odd. Um, I think he kind of like spoke to it earlier, late about like the whole thing's about the foreplay, because like um yeah, the even though the beat of the story felt out to me, I think the pace still worked because okay, this proves how much it worked for me. I only started reading it a few days ago, and I think and I didn't really focus on it till this weekend, and I finished it I think an hour ago before I called. And I wasn't concerned. I knew I was gonna finish it. Like, I wasn't worried, so I knew I was gonna finish it. But yeah. I also like the side characters, like especially the writing room. I think it really
Yeah.
it makes sense after again learning about the author's background because she really captured the industry well, I thought. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
So
sure.
I think she did,
Just
right? Oh, and can I just say something about that cover? This is I think one of the book where like the cover makes a difference, and I thought that this current fad of like this illustrated covers, I actually thought it did the story a disservice because it had this been more natural or like cover, I thought I would have liked it that way,
yeah,
like
I was gonna say we should start talking about covers too, because whether it feels like they reflects the book or not, because it does. Yeah, this one I did. I felt that's why I feel like I was shocked too, because the cover didn't really,
right
it
because you're
didn't go
always
one way or another.
no,
Like
right,
it,
exactly. Because you're always, for me, this kind of covers, you're kind of expecting almost a rom com, right?
yeah,
Yes, because
When
it's
the story has
illustrated.
so much
Yes.
gravity to it, like or
Mhm.
gravitas, I should say, like
yeah,
it feels kind of like incongruent, like the cover, but like so.
yeah.
And I think this is why I love. Remember when we read about the Kennedy Ryan one?
Oh
I
yeah, that
love
cover.
that cover of that one, and I felt like the mood of the cover really captured the character, like the female's main character, right? But
Oh, and the essence of the book I found, like that
yeah,
was sort of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So I really enjoyed this one. So that's my thought.
The Elle and I, we're more same. We're more the same wavelength.
Thank you so much for that,
Mhm.
Miss L.
Okay,
All right.
Emmy, you
Uh,
Your turn.
represent.
Your turn.
uh,
Your turn.
okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, she looks like she's anguished.
I know.
So I actually would like to apologize to Miss Helen Huang, our last episode, because in that episode I think I said that the main character in that thing Esme was the worst female character I think I've ever read. So that's a lie. You know what? I actually was gonna say I was gonna apologize to all of you after I read this book. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, remember Elle when you picked that book and you thought everyone would hate it, but I ended up loving it because you said you were gonna, that romance too that you were gonna apologize, but then I ended up liking it. But with me, it's like the opposite now. I was like, I thought I was gonna. I'm like, did we read the same book? Oh my god! But I guess
Oh,
it
the
was.
Olivia Dade one, right? Yes.
Yeah, the Olivia Day, because I love that book. But and then you said right, I was gonna apologize, but then so I guess I'm not gonna apologize now. So I'm glad to hear
I
that
liked
some of you
it.
guys did enjoy it. Yeah, because this is probably one of the worst books I think I've ever read. Honestly, it would have been a DNF for me if I wasn't hosting this this book.
Me too. Me
So
too. Actually.
I'm gonna. So I don't want to, because I kind of ranted the last episode. So I don't want people to think I just rant all the time about romance. Because I mean, okay, yeah, because I didn't know this was romance. Loisa was, Elle was right. So I think maybe that's what kind of clouded my judgment already. So I'm gonna start off with the cons, actually. Sorry, with the pro, because that one will be short. I do love. Okay, so with this book, I feel like it has the worst character and the best character I've read, which is kind of funny because some of you guys didn't like Grant too much. I actually really love Grant. I thought
I
Grant was
love
one of.
it. What did you say?
So,
I thought it
I was talking about.
was
Okay, so Miss Laney,
Oh
but yeah,
me, no, at
Grant.
the beginning, I thought he was a bit schmaltzy. It's just like it's a little
So
too
with me, I
much for
didn't find
me.
anything wrong at him at all. Like from beginning to end, I loved Grant. I was
Mm.
just like, oh my god, because he's like in a way for me, he was like the perfect romance hero that basically because he was sappy, right? Like I don't think he
Yes.
did really anything wrong. He's almost too perfect, so I can see why maybe that might be a bit too much. But I love him. Even there was a part when he said, um,
See, why do you think
"Oh
I
my
wanted
gosh,
that grand gesture from Helen? Because
yeah,
I
do you
think
want
Graham
remember Lord
deserved
L?
it.
Remember that." In the end, not the end, but before Helen ended up leaving him, he's like, "Do you want me to beg?" He asked. "I'll beg, please." Helen. I was like,
Oh,
oh
I
my
hate.
gosh.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
hated that
I
so
know. I was like, it's so funny that
much.
I love it. I love that scene.
oh my
I'm
gosh,
like,
I
why
love
are
that
you a little
scene.
mean, man? Like,
But
I
I
just
just
too
saw
much.
that
Even
actually
when
like
Grant said that I will take a small piece of you if that's all
I
you give me.
yeah.
know.
I was like, guy, move on, buddy. This girl is not worth it. Okay, so
No,
that's
she
the
doesn't
big
deserve him.
the
Mm.
biggest pro for me is Grant. And then also what Elle said, the production scenes, I thought they were so well written. Very very accurate, I guess, even though obviously, like, well, with me, I don't have really any experience with it, but I've seen enough behind the scenes with, like, with movies and shows that I like, and it has such a ring to it that that Yulin knows what she's talking about, and it
Yes.
makes
Yeah.
sense, right? uh, on a side note, someone actually on a Goodreads comment, someone said, "Oh, I can't believe whoever compared Emily Henry to Yulin Kuang. You should rot in hell," or something like that. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Which one?
No, it's okay. No, have you guys? Because I mean, Emily Henry. I kind of like the book that I read from her. And not, I didn't love it either.
Which one
Like,
did she write? What did she write?
the one I've read is Book Lovers. She's
Okay.
written a beach read.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then she has a new one that just came out too, I think.
Yeah,
She
she
has
did.
like
Yeah,
a one every year that it just becomes big on TikTok. So,
yeah.
anyways, what else? The minor characters, like the in the production scene, anyways. Those one,
The other writers.
yeah, the other writers I did like, and that's about it. I guess those three things: Grant, production scenes, minor characters, especially, yeah, like the other writers. So now, okay, here we go with the cons. So I hated Helen so much. I actually think she's the villain of this entire book and the mom. So I actually don't understand how they end up blaming
Yeah.
Grant at all for what happened to the sister.
I, f-
Like, that's just, I'm
I
like,
feel the same way.
they
I
know,
feel the same way.
like they know what happened, that it was like, was she driving and she was driving, right? And she drove straight into Grant's car.
No,
That's
I
what
think
happened.
she jumped in front of the car.
She
Yeah.
jumped in front of the car, and I
Oh,
think
she
she was
did.
also, and there was also like sort of some sort of like hint that she took drugs, like that she was a
Yeah,
drug
yeah. But
addict.
I thought she
She was
was
on
Yeah.
driving.
something.
I thought she was driving high. Like, that's what I actually thought. I didn't even
No,
know
she
she just
jumped
jumped.
in front. Yeah.
No, she just
Yeah.
jumped in front of the car.
So, yeah. And also, like, Elle, was it you who said, oh, no, realistically, Lainey, you were saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
with the background, would you really be with Grant?
Yeah.
Right? Like, after everything.
Yes.
And I totally agree. And I totally agree with that. And the only way it would work for me, I think, if this was a dark romance, honestly. But as a typical because with dark romance, you get the most outrageous plot line. I find that something like this might work. But with a regular romance, I just don't think, for me, it was, maybe that's what kind of clouded my thing too. It's like, just from the beginning, I was like, there's no way. Even in a fiction that this two falling in love would make sense just because of the background and
Oh my.
their connection
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
together.
my God, that would have been really delicious if it was a dark romance. Yes, I
That's,
agree.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I figured that maybe they'll kind of be a story of forgiveness, and then sort of like, and then they kind of move on their merry
Forgive what
way.
though? You know what? He wasn't
No,
to
like
blame for the
accept
accident.
it. But I
Yeah.
feel like I wouldn't. But at the same time, he's associated forever with her death. That's how I see it.
No,
Like
no, no. I said that I
whether,
understand, but I just didn't understand
yeah.
why the mother was blaming him when there was witnesses
Oh,
that said it wasn't his fault, right? There was
I
witnesses that
know.
said that
Yeah.
saw her jump in front of the
Okay, I'm
car,
sorry
right?
though, but even I mean, I just saw our mother who would blame somebody. I feel like I know characters who would. I mean, I know people who would put the blame whether it was their fault or not. Just because I'm like, no, because
I
you're
get it.
trying to make excuses for your daughter. I guess. I mean, in a way.
I think it's because I really disliked the mother just like I forgot
I
to mention that.
know.
Yes, I
It's
also
so
dislike the
Yeah.
funny. I'm
mother,
the only one
and
who
I
likes
dislike,
Helen.
I
and
know.
I did
Yeah,
not like Helen. Yeah.
I know,
She
Lainey.
only
You're the
she
only one.
only redeemed herself to me around halfway through the book when she was nicer
Yeah.
to Grant,
Well,
but then I
yeah, with
kind of
me,
started to hate her again after she like dumped him,
See,
right? So
I
there was
thought
no
Lisa
spoiler
was
alert.
even
redemption.
being, I thought Lisa was even being generous when she said 30% and she started liking Helen. I didn't like
Yeah.
Helen until the
But
end.
I knew
Really?
why, but I knew the
I
moment because
only
I
liked her
actually
in the
thought,
last maybe 5-10%.
oh, well, with me, actually, you guys will see, I never liked her at all. So
Oh,
I even, you know how much I hated? I actually rewrote scenes. Biggest one, okay, you guys were saying, right, with that, you know, you commented that most of the love scenes are like foreplay. So
Yeah.
that New York, not New York, the New Year party scene when they went to Grant's high school
mm,
friend's house in the
Yeah.
basement, and then Helen just left after he went to the
yes,
washroom. I was like,
yes,
you. I think that's when I really hated her. Actually, that was the point I would have DNF'd the book. And like for me, this book took me longer than 5 days to read, and for me, that's a long time for a romance book for something this stupid. Really, it was just so hard. So how I would
Oh
have
my
written
god.
that scene, I would have
See,
how I,
I would have taken your DNF, and I would have been even earlier when she left him at the mother's place when
At the
she
yeah,
got up
mother's
and she
place.
left.
right.
Yeah.
No, but then no, this was right
Oh
after.
right.
So how would have rewritten that scene is that after Grant went to the washroom, he came right back out, and he didn't see Helen there. He assumed because of what she did the other day that she would leave. I would have had Helen waiting outside for him in his car. That's how I would have written that scene instead of Helen just going home, and then they don't talk the whole Christmas New Year break until they get back to LA, right? First scene. And
yeah.
then another one, okay, the birthday scene, I understand. That's
But he
supposed
didn't
to be
drive.
what?
Grant didn't drive to the party. Just
He didn't
saying.
drive?
I don't think he did.
See, I read this book freaking like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, I'm not rereading it again.
Oh.
So I don't even
Okay, but
care
go
if
ahead.
I
But
got
but but like, I'm with you, Emmy, because I think even at the end, you know how 4 months have passed,
Yeah.
and then all it took was this, like, those,
that's
like,
another thing. Okay.
ending
Yeah.
of the letter for Grant to concede. I was like, Grant, like, you deserve so much better. You deserve a bigger
Yeah.
gesture from Helen.
And
Yes,
that was
yes, I
another
Really?
agree.
scene. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Honestly,
god.
that's that
No.
scene. I would have just like, okay, so the scene before that, right? That during that 4 months when they met and he saw her in New York on a subway
yeah, on
somewhere,
the
I think.
train.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
then he called her, and then she ignored the call.
I
I
know
was like,
that
are
Wait.
you
that
freaking
broke my
kidding
heart. That
me?
broke my
Are
heart
you
for
freaking
Grant.
Did
kidding me? And then
she ignore it? 'Cause I thought maybe
she
because
did.
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
She
know.
ignored
did. She
it
ignored it.
purposely.
She
Even
She
Grant
did.
ignored it.
even Grant was like, "Oh my god," because he knew, right? Because it rang twice, so he knew that he ignored it, that she
Yes.
ignored it, and then that's when he's just like, "Okay, this is it." I'm just like, "Oh my god!" I honestly thought this would have been a perfect ending. Like, move on, move on. This girl is not worth it. And then that stupid, I hated. That's the worst ending. Exactly what I was saying about the grand gesture. That stupid letter, yours, Helen. Oh my god, yours, Helen. I'm gonna go to the hotel now. I know that she really. Are you freaking kidding me? First of all, like she didn't even. Oh my god, that grand gesture! I swear, this makes me so. This book just makes me so
I
angry. I hate
know,
this
I
book so
know.
much because also
I'm with you.
I wish there was a redemption in the end for me, but even in the end, I was like, oh my god, and they got married. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They got married in the end. Like, no, Grant, no. And then
I
that scene.
like the
Okay,
ending.
there was also a scene when they went back to the old high school. Remember? And then the vice principal was there. I honestly
Oh,
thought, oh,
right, right.
maybe that's how Grant would propose. Like maybe that scene would play. No, that stupid scene was literally nothing. It was just a chapter filler. Oh my god! Like what was that scene about?
Which
That
one? The
literally had
school?
nothing to do.
It was like
Nothing
a
to do.
quiet moment in the library, like where, like, they're not even allowed to
They're
talk.
not even talking. They weren't even talking.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, all the stuff you think with Helen, I'm like, that's something I would do. I would talk
Oh my god! No,
to
okay, no comment.
I feel like I like, oh, it's good. I wouldn't respond.
Oh, okay.
Why? I felt
And
like I was like, I'm like, I'll do what Helen does. It's
oh,
like,
I like this part too. Okay,
Let Emmy continue.
I'm almost done. So there's a part here. Helen says, Helen tries to remind herself that her least favorite thing about herself is how much she cares about what other people think, and that they probably aren't thinking about her anyway. But if you guys go through all her inner monologues, it is always about her. It has nothing to do with even like with Grant or how she's hurting other people or with the parents or with the sister. Literally all her inner monologues is just how she feels. Oh my gosh. Oh, what kind of oh my god, seriously, I'm just I this book really made me so angry so much. I know, like I know I was kind of hinting. I didn't tell Loisa that I hated it, but I was because I thought honestly thought you guys would hate it too. I told her, start now because it will take you a while, right? Because oh my gosh. So, but I'm glad you guys like Lainey. I'm so happy because I
I
honestly
liked
thought it would
it.
be pure torture for
Me
all
too.
of us, and I was like, I
It
think
was for me because of the way it was written.
I think this is the
Sorry.
last time I'll probably pick romance, just
Well,
because
I'm shocked you even picked romance. You don't have to
I
pick
love the
romance.
title so
Yeah.
much. So maybe that's another con I should talk about. Another pro is how much I love this title. I thought this title was so beautiful. How to end a love story.
Right. Yes.
And no, and this book is not it.
Yeah.
This is not how you end a love story.
Well, it didn't
End
end. That's
scene.
why.
End scene. Did I mention all my rant already? Yeah. Yeah, the Grant's birthday. Oh my gosh, the Grant's birthday. Holy she's. That was so painful to read. Just
You
please,
know,
just
I
lie.
think
Tell me that
Grant's
you love me. Oh, why would I do that? I don't know. Go, Helen.
I am with you. I mean, I think the whole time I mean, I didn't hate Helen as much as you did. Although I think throughout I wasn't really a fan of her. One thing really that just kind of gave her a bit of leeway is that final letter. I think the one that she sent to Grant, right? That final letter to the sister about a piece of her. How I think at the end, really, I mean, she
Hmm.
recognized that, like that Grant loves her, like like flaw and all, right? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, she saw that in herself, that minor admission, I think, like, but was just enough to kind of make me like forgive her in a sense, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
I
Like, but
respect your opinion, but I don't agree.
So this was in the Reese book club,
Yeah,
but I can see why it'd be like a polarizing book, though. It's like it's fluffy, yet it's
it's very
not. Like it's
dark.
sort of some.
I think I think it's confusing. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's part of it.
because it starts off super dark, but then the love story is so fluffy. I found in the middle, like I liked it because I'm like, okay, I like romance books, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a disconnect a bit. It could be two different books though at this point. Like it's like a
Right.
weird.
Yeah, some scenes. I think
Hmm.
that you're right. I think the feel of some scenes doesn't feel like it belongs in the same book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it started off so like, oh my god, it's like
It's so
so sad and
serious.
stuff. Yeah, and then when they meet again, it was still serious. And then all of a sudden, the cottage, I guess, was like the flip.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all of a sudden, like they're into each other. Everybody likes Helen. It was like it flipped. Like everything flipped all of a sudden. And
You know
like
what it is? I don't, because I think maybe I in my head it's like, okay, I don't think she knew how to kind of make that connection. So is that from that little scene of the comforter with Grant smell, and I'm like,
Oh
really,
my
that's what
gosh.
triggered it.
Yeah.
That in my head
yeah,
that's what kind of started it, right?
it is weird that they had like, an attraction right away. Like he's like, oh, that's it. You're into each other. Like from the comforter. I think the comforter is what triggered.
Yeah.
So bizarre. Okay, are we talking about actors who we thought of?
I guess.
Emmy, or do you still want to keep
Well, with
talking
me,
about?
because I love Grant. If I love my hero, it's Charlie Hunnam. That I always picture, even though
Fuck.
I know, If you guys are not new to our channel, it's either Charlie Hunnam,
Yeah.
Alex Pettyfer, those two. And I love
Oh my
Grant that it
god,
was
yeah.
Charlie Hunnam for me. But Helen, I literally, oh, I did picture someone, but it was
Nobody.
she was in the Joy Luck Club, the younger. I know, like my references show my age, but
Welcome to the club, Emmy. I know all
I'm
I can
older
think.
than you. I'm older than
You
all
know,
of you.
My references are always for
Equalizer.
actors
I
when they
know,
were young
Equalizer.
way back when they were at that age.
Oh my god, I know either Equalizer.
Well, that show
L has
being
a
canceled now, so I guess
Oh yeah. Oh
I will no
no.
longer be able to make reference to it.
Well, how about you guys? Who
oh
did you
my
picture?
god. Okay, well, I will go. Okay, maybe this is why I like the book too, because the moment I start. Okay, so Bridgerton, the next series that's coming, the next couple is Benedict's character. So and the main girl's Asian.
Oh.
So I was thinking of them the whole time. So it's Luke
Mm,
Thompson and Yaren Ha, I think is the name.
mm.
And
Oh
then,
my gosh. Yo, they're
Oh,
so
both
then
so good
I think
looking.
which
yes.
made me like the book more. I think because I was literally from beginning to end, I was picturing the character because I'm waiting for Bridgerton to come out,
I've
the
only
next
seen the first
series.
season, so I don't know the rest. Yeah.
Oh
I've
my
never seen. I've
god.
Mm.
never seen it. I've never
Oh,
seen it. Yeah.
you know my historical romance. I'm like, oh
I
my
know, to
god.
me, it's right at
Totally,
the
totally
same.
not me. Not my style.
So I
I
think
have the same.
that's why I like the book. I really do feel like this because in the head, I'm like, oh my
I'm
god,
glad. I'm glad you guys
they're the
liked it. Okay,
characters.
that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, L. Did you say wait, Lisa? We know. Wait,
Yeah.
Lisa don't have
Now,
Oh,
how
lined
about
up.
you?
yeah. I did, for me, I didn't picture any woman, but I think because earlier when I spoke about like all the Nicholas Sparks ones, so all the Nicholas Sparks heroes, so Ryan Gosling, because Ryan Gosling is such a golden
That's true.
retriever.
That's
I'm
true.
like,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
pick
yeah.
actually.
I think in the Notebook, this is pretty much his character, like
Oh
the
yeah.
Notebook. Like he was like,
Oh.
yeah,
yes,
like he's the one who really fought for her, and
yes,
that's
and
what you're
he,
right.
Like he
Rachel
really pursued
McAdams.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he
Rachel
really pursued her.
McAdams,
Yeah.
like was ended up with somebody
I've
else at one
never
point, right?
seen
Like
and
yeah,
it.
then
like he
like
really
Ryan Gosling's character carried the torch
Oh
throughout that
wow.
movie. It's like yeah,
till the end. I know the
I've
till
very
the
never seen
end.
end.
that movie because I know
Yes.
it's really sad, right? So yeah, I've
Yeah,
never
it
seen
is.
it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Ratings? Are we going for ratings? I think
Ratings,
it's gonna be a
ratings.
quick
Okay.
one. Emmy hated the book so much.
Yeah, this is. I think I've talked about. I've spent too much time enough with it already.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid for my book. Maybe I won't
No,
choose
you
that
know what
one.
it was? No, because I
No.
didn't think it. I think that's what really thing because I didn't know it was romance, like straight romance. So I think maybe that threw me off a bit. So
I was surprised too. No, no, no. I agree with you because I didn't actually think it was a romance until I started to really read. I'm
yeah.
like, oh, it's. But I also agree with like, um, Lainey's thing where it was like it felt like two separate books.
Mm.
To me, it did. Right. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, okay. So, are we doing
Yeah.
rating?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then that's me, right? All right.
Yeah.
So, because of the writing style, which I hated, and Helen, which I disliked until about midway-ish, but not that I loved her midway-ish, I just sort of tolerated her after that. And I like the ending, even though, yes, I could agree with Emmy's, what? They got married? Um, but sorry. So because of the writing style, I didn't enjoy it. I would give it a 2.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lisa.
Then oh no, Leni, sorry.
Me. So I really enjoyed the book. I mean, whether false and all, I would give it. I'll give it a 4 star. I was gonna give it 4.5, but I feel like it's too much. It's too much for this because again, I recognized the problem right
Mm.
away because one, I'm like, oh, like it's like a weird shift. So 4 stars for me.
Yay.
Yay!
Um, for me, Helen took a full star out of this, like my rating. So let's start with that. So, but in the end, this kind of fell for me like few points shy of 4. So I am also giving this a 4
Oh
star. So
wow, that's so good. What is that? What does that mug
Yay!
say?
Says
Oh,
love.
sorry. Oh,
yes.
because my view, I told you, my grid is weird. You guys are all so.
Oh, right.
Mm.
It says love. I was like, it says
Even when you
love.
were showing that picture, I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like, I couldn't really see it. But I
Oh
saw a
my
bit.
god! Why did it?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
it's
I did
so
see a
good
bit of it when you
looking.
put it in front of your face. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess my turn. Thank you so much, everyone. So, uh, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you. Next episode. No, okay.
Zero? Can you give a 0 star?
No.
No, you can't.
So because I did, okay, I did love Grant, but it's just not enough for me to make this any higher than a 1. So it's a 1 for me, a 1 star. Yeah.
Okay. See, that's okay.
Okay.
Grant deserves a full star.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I was gonna give it 1.5,
For all
but
the
then I was like, oh, I like even just talking about it now, it's really making my blood boil.
it brought back the
Yeah, so I'm like,
feelings.
I'm gonna
Brought
do
back the
1 star.
feelings.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
listening to us rave and rant about this book. And now the next one for the book club pick would be Miss Al.
Yay!
Al.
Yay.
So, for our next read, we are picking The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Yay.
Yay.
So,
I think you did do it before.
So The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava. I think Danica Nava, the author, she's indigenous. I think she lives in the States.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember
Ooh.
which 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 nation she's part of, but I think yeah. So it's a and then the characters are indigenous. So I am
Yay.
looking
We've never
forward
done
to it.
indigenous characters. We've never
Yeah,
done.
I've never read a
Yeah.
romance with indigenous characters.
Same, right? Because
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
the funny thing is, I think I told the group, full disclosure, I told the group this went on sale a few months ago. I've heard about this book, but but I was kind of, but I had other books I was considering. And then when this went on sale, I was like, oh, perfect. Like it's very timely. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yay. Okay, and I think that concludes our episode 23.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can't even look at Emmy. It's like...
Final thoughts. All right. Well, no. Well, as you guys can see, that's the beauty of the book club, right? Like, we literally have different opinions. Some of us hated it.
Oh,
Oh no. She blanked out.
um,
Oh no.
oh my God. I almost feel like Miss Kang has like some kind of like,
You were actually making fun. I thought you were actually joking when you're
I
like,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can hear you now. We can hear you
some
now.
forces look after Miss Gang. It's like we finally muted Emmy. That's it. Like we cannot speak ill of Miss Gang anymore.
All right. Well, that concludes.
No,
Okay.
just wait a few seconds. Because sometimes the three of you are frozen at my end as well. So
Okay.
but I could hear everybody well. So I just waited and it goes back eventually.
Okay. Okay, that concludes episode 23. Thank you so much for watching. And tune in, if you have any book suggestions for us to read, we will
Yeah,
take
please suggest them. Yes.
suggest some books because we just pick random books anyways. Doesn't mean doesn't have to be current. That could be from whatever time period. Okay. And thank you and
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe. Yeah, Lisa. Jinx. Okay, bye.
Bye.